Well, hello folks. This product description is up at the top right, and a lot of information is going to be displayed there as I go through the testing and wiring setup for this product. It's an underglow for cars, LEDs and colors, and just fantastic. But the best way I can tell you is you need to lay this out, connect it up, wire it up, and test it before you ever put it on the vehicle. It would be so bad to find that there's something wrong after you get it all installed and you could have tested it ahead of time on the bench. I'm doing it here, a small space, and I'm going to explain how I've got it laid out and how we connect it. Okay, it's all laid out. There are 6 of these LED strips. Dimensions are up there of each of them. It's a group of 3. One for the right side of the vehicle, one for the left side. And I've divided them off on the bench here. And showing the connection point. You need a female and a male. The best way to start this is to go from this point right here. You need a female here, and this is the strip that starts it right here. This is going to be the back of the vehicle. The reason being is that's where the wiring connections are for your different lights, is in the rear tail light. So that's why you want this close to the rear. Okay, then obviously if this is the rear, then this is the front strip that's going to go across the spoiler in the front. And then obviously this longer one is going to go down the side. So that's the way it is. Front, along the rocker panel of the car, and then this is the back bumper. Same way with the left side. Right there, you're way ahead of the game. You've got extra wire coiled up here, which will give you the necessary length to make the adjustments. It's going to take some planning ahead of time before you stick this down. Yes, sticking is there's a 3M adhesive strip here, but it's going to require you cleaning off and all of that. So I'm not so much getting into the actual installation of this. I think that's the least of your problem. It's connecting it up and testing it ahead of time so that you know that everything works. Right down to the app. We're going to do it all right here on the bench. I know it looks good seeing it afterwards on the car, but there's a whole lot of stuff you got to do before you get it to that point. So I'm going to show that stuff that everybody has left out. You need a test power source. Is one of these, a test cord. This is a cigarette lighter adapter, a cord. I cut it off and I have 2 leads there. And the reason I need the 2 leads is to connect to the controller. This is the controller right here that is going to do all the magic. And it has to have power, and here are the leads, all of the leads that are going to be the input to the controller to tell these lights what to do. To activate the right side on a right turn signal, left side on a left turn signal. Right here is right turn, left turn. We'll get into that later. I'm just giving you the preliminary start. Is you have to have on this black and red lead right here, we have to have 12 volts. This is going to put 12 volts on right here. First thing you need to know though is there's polarity. If you'll notice, there's a white band here. Most all power cords will have a white and a solid black. White is going to be positive. That's the positive terminal. All right, so I've got it tested. I'm going to put this back in the configuration I had, which the 2 red ones are going to be over here, and the 2 black ones are over here. And now, the first important thing is I have power to do my test. So you're going to have to come up with something similar or close to it that you can get 12 volts to this, because this is going to allow me to totally test out everything. I don't need the turn signals and all that. I'm going to show you how I'm going to test it. It's very, very easy. The first thing is you've got 6 of these LED strips, and there's going to be 2 like this, 2 like this, and 2 like this. Separate them out right and left. This is going to be the right side of the vehicle. And right here, when you find this particular one, there's going to be one like this with 2 leads, and the same size, you're going to find one with just 1 connecting lead and nothing on the other end. That's the front of the vehicle. So you put that up there. The big long one goes right here. And then this one with the 2 ends go down below. This is the back of the vehicle. Now, you've got 2 ends, a male and a female. Well, you're going to start from this module right here, and these are your 2 right side and left side. Now, I'm going to hook the right side here. I'm going to take and see, I've got it this way. Now, what it is, there's 3 pins in there, and they're going to be keyed. There's a key right here in this. So what you do is pull this back so that you can get this, and just push in and twist a little bit until you feel it go into the key. And as soon as it lines up with the splines, and you can actually look at them and line them up ahead of time, and then push it until you see it go all the way up to the gasket, and then you take the little nut and screw it down tight. Okay. No mistake there. And then you go over here, a female and a male, so we want the male on this one. And again, I just pull this back and twist these around until it goes in. Like that, all the way up, and then screw it down with a little tightening to it. That's waterproofing. Okay, now we can go right there. So we're here, and now we're only left with this right here. We can go right on around, and we connect these 2. And I'm going to just spin it around like I showed you. Right there, and then tighten her down. Okay, there we go. All right, that's the right side of our vehicle, and now we're going to do the same with the left, and we start with this, and I'm not going to go through all of this. Just keep on going there. When it lines up, it'll go in. But don't push in and twist. Kind of pull out and slowly move it around. Look at it. Look at the pins if you need to, because you don't want to bend the pins. Okay. Okay, everything is connected, and I have my left and right side. So now we can do a real test to make sure all of these light up corresponding to the side that they're on. And now we've got our controller that we need to put power on it first. Red is going to go to the red lead. Now don't get it confused with an orange lead. If you're colorblind, you may need some help with this, because orange looks very close to red. So if you don't get the red and the black with power, it's not going to work. This on here, and I click it onto there. And right away, there's no switch. It's going to automatically fire up. This gives you enough to actually see, and you can twist these around to be sure. And this is one color. There's a lot of colors that you can pick from. Okay, that's the first step. We know right now all of the LEDs are working, and so now we can move to the next step. Let's test the controller to be sure that the left and right if we turn our blinker on, that they will correspond with blinking condition. Okay, right here there's a wiring chart up here, about 6 leads, and each one says what it is. Now we know we got black and red, and the left, or let's start with the right, yellow. Got a yellow wire here, and we want to put positive. When you turn your turn signal on, a positive signal from the battery through the turn signal circuitry goes over to your lights, your turn signal lights. We're going to simulate that. We don't have it connected, but we can actually test it, and I'll show you how. What we need to do is go to the red power right here, and I connect this lead right there onto the red. So now my yellow test lead has power on it, positive voltage. So all I have to do is touch this right, and it will be just like my turn signal. I'm going to throw my turn signal on, and look at there. It just plies it, and then the circuitry, the controller is sitting there blinking them. Okay? And if I want to do the left one, I can use this same lead. I just wanted to show the different colors. Green is the left. So right here, let me get there. There's green. I can just clip this on green. This is positive, the yellow lead is positive, and now my left side is blinking. The controller is working perfectly. The wiring diagram says that the white lead is the brake light and the orange is the reverse. So let's do the brake. Here's the brake, and you're going to see the light intensity change. See? That's the brake light. When you put the brake on, that's what it's going to do all the way across. Now, when you put it in reverse, this is what's going to happen. Orange. I jiggled it. So orange, I'm actually moving it around. That's why it's wiggling. Okay. So when you put it in reverse, it's going to change color. All right, let me get to the next step of downloading the app. This little pamphlet with your light kit, Magic Lantern App User Guide. This is going to kind of give you a basic rundown of just what you can do with the app. It's very, very simple, not hard at all. The big thing you have to do is use this QR code to access downloading the app. And right up here, it tells you before installing the app, you got to be, your cell phone has to be Android or iOS. I have an iOS 8 or above. I have 11. So what you do, come over here. On your apps, you should have a QR reader. If you don't, then download it. And then it's going to go into the reading mode here in just a moment. It's loading. Okay, there it is, Magic Lantern, and here is the download. I'm doing this for the folks that may not be familiar with a lot of this, but they want this all to work. So when you see the little cloud, you click on it, and now it's spinning. It's going to download it quite quickly, and that's what your app should look like. But that's the name of the app, Magic Lantern. And there we go. And I can go open, and this will appear on your screen as an app. Now, the first thing it's going to ask you is Bluetooth. You want to okay all of this stuff, or you're not going to work. It's okay. Now, Bluetooth, I've done it. Now, watch these lights. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to change the color right now. So right now we're going to look at there. As I go around, Wherever I stop, that's the color it's going to be. Now here are the different modes that you can get into. Microphone. Let me click on microphone, and it's going to ask me, would you like to access the microphone? Or we want them to access it so that we can do our test. Now it's going to monitor voice, and it's modulating the lights as I talk. I'm going to stop talking. I'm talking again. Is this cool or what? So now let's go to music. It will sync to music. Right here it wants to access everything you got. Okay, I'm going to do it. And now be the boss. Let's try that. It's synced. So can you imagine you're in a little parade of your types of vehicles riding down, cruising on a Saturday night? You will look cool with that. And hey, you're going to be able to install this after I get through. Okay, stop, and there it is. Now you can go back to your controls just by going over here. So this is your functions down here. You can schedule it where it'll go on at a certain time. Style, let's see what style. Auto play, basic, curtain. Oh, look at that. 17 colors. So it can just, as you're riding down the road, these colors are just doing this stuff. And then this 17 color transfer. You're gonna look cool. If you've got a cool car, you gotta have these lights. Water. 17. Oh, here's white. You can get radical. You just sit here one day and just play with all of these different displays, and you'll have fun. We're out of that, and now we're going to go to the next stage, which is showing you the installation of this. Now, before you install it, you need to know that you're going to lay this out with the controller toward the back in the area that your rear lights are. Your stop light, turn signal, reverse light all appear in the back. So this needs to go there. And you do have a lot of wire that will go out. One of the big things you have to find is a way of getting from inside the trunk or the hatchback area where this is located to connect to outside the vehicle so you can go under. You're going to have to find a hole or something, or make a hole. Usually on the driver's side and the passenger side will be some sort of a little panel over here. My tail light is right there. And this is the access panel that if you ever needed to change the bulb or something, you'd go in here. There's a little push out point right here. And so you just push, and there's your wires. And right here are this is the plug. Now this is the plug that goes into your taillight assembly. And right here is, and all of them will have a little push unlock tab. You just push on something and then it'll allow it to pull out. When you plug it back in, it'll only go one way, and it'll snap. Now here's all the light leads that go to your different tail lights, and we need to find out which one is the left turn signal. I have a test meter here. So you would find this plug and unplug it so that you can do a test. Now you need to have one lead on a ground. It has to be metal that's not painted. I have a screw in there that I've got. So I'm going to turn the left turn signal on. I'm going to do it there. Let me see. There. You got to be on the ground. Okay, it's going to be something. There's the left turn signal right there. See that? Blinking. Okay, I'm going to go on around. and there's a light. It's on steady, but we're looking for the blinking turn signal right there. I'm going to go turn it off and we'll see. Let me see which one it was. Okay, that is this wire right here. That is the turn signal wire right there, and that's what you would put a quick connect on right there to the pigtail for the left turn signal. It's a blue thing. Clip it in there and it actually connects the two wires. You go back a little ways, right there would be fine. And that would be the left side. You have to do the same thing on the right side. So you're going to have if your controller is here, you're going to have to run you a wire over to the other side to connect to the right turn signal. But we've identified our color right there. It's kind of a blue with a white, actually a gray, black and white. That's it. There it is, the turn signal. And now we just have to stick this back in to that little area right there. Now this is the right side, just to show you it's the exact same thing. You just kind of pull out, and right here is going to be the same wires, and that's where you would hook the other side of your controller. But your controller is going to be on the driver's side, so you're going to have to find a way to run that wire over into this area. That's the challenge. Take alcohol and clean all of the areas that you're going to install this on ahead of time so that it will stick to the best. For some reason, if you can't get it, you know, there's just no way it's going to stick properly, they start dropping down. They do give you a little kit here of these little rubber. They're clear, so if you put it over an area that's a light, it will work fine. And the way it works is it saddles your light, and you got 2 screws, and you'd actually have to probably drill some holes and occasionally put these in there. So review that part of it before you begin so that you've got an idea of what this is going to require. All right, now there is a remote control right here that you can use, and I haven't used it yet, so let's just test it out. Okay, to turn this on, click this and it turns the app on. If I want to turn some of the other features on, change the color, we've got all these colors down here: yellow, green, red, and the different speeds and modes. So you need to go through and get some expertise on using the remote. Right now, I think I've shown you enough that you can get started and then review these with this card right here. Is going to help you greatly to understand all of the different controls on this. It's unlimited. So it will be nice sometimes when it's parked and you're in the restaurant, and as everybody's going out to their cars, you fire yours up with a really brilliant display and stand out. You're going to have a lot of fun with this, and I hope I've given you that extra confidence that, hey, I can do that. And that's what I'm after. And I've tried to give you everything. I don't think I left out anything. So I want to thank you very much for watching my video.